you're probably not ready to have qualified tenants. Take back your time and the skills that it takes to pull all of this off. Hi, my name is Rodrell in real estate for the last 12 years, and we help landlords with two doors or more get their units filled and take back their time. When it comes to getting your property filled, there are two main functions that you have to consider: marketing and the selection process. Let's talk about marketing. So, when it comes down to it, you want to make sure you have great quality photos with resourceful people and not such a bad price tag. Me and Roger typically use FA photography. We love this source because it is very readily available. And you'll see in this example. So let's go ahead and type in FA photography, and I'll take you step by step through what it looks like to get to the website, fill out the application, and set up a booking for a photo shoot. So we're going to type in F8 photo. And as you see, it's the first one that pops up. We're going to go to the top right corner of the screen. It says order now. And from here, we're going to fill all of the fields in. We're going to need an example. So I went ahead and grabbed the property from Zillow so we can use this for this example. So let's take the address. Go ahead and copy paste the address, and it should auto populate for it on its own. From here, go ahead and put in the square footage. And once you put in the square footage, the next step is the access instructions. Now, there are three options that they give you. One, if you have an agent or a family member or somebody that's there to open the property up, you can select that as an option. The second is if you have a lockbox on the home, in case you're not there. The third is if you don't have any access to the interior of the property, they'll just go ahead and take the photos for the exterior. In this case, we're going to go ahead and select agent access. If you have a combo, go ahead and put that in there, as well as a gate code in the community. Go ahead and put that in there if there's that as well. The last field on this page is the photo of the inside of the garage. Now, it's important because you might have epoxy flooring or some kind of feature that it's special to display. Either case, garages are important to consider as any shopper or any person that's looking for a property or rent. So go ahead and select if you want the garage photographed. And let's head on to the next step. I typically don't do the ordering, but when Roger does order, he's typically selecting the signature package. It's about $195. After that, you add it to the cart and hit next step. Once you have added it to the cart, it takes you to the next page for your add-ons. The add-on that we like to use is the floor plan. So go ahead and add the floor plan, and it's an additional $100, and then hit next steps. So in this scenario, today is November 14th. It is 4:00 p.m. So it's pretty much at the end of business day. As you see here, there are two providers. You can select any provider that you'd like or keep it as all providers. I went ahead and selected all providers. So when you're taking a look at this schedule, you can see how soon you're able to schedule, considering that you got the listen the same day. If we select the 15th, which is Saturday, you'll see that the availability starts at 9 in the morning, which is really good turnaround time. Ultimately, once they take the photos, that turnaround time is 24 hours from the time they took the photo. So go ahead and select a time slot and hit next steps. So from here, you select the provider that is available on that working day and then hit next steps. All right. Once you put your email address in and verify your email, they will go ahead and coordinate with you so that way you and the photographer are on the same page at any given time. And again, once they take the photos, they'll give you the photos within the 24-hour mark of them taking that photo. So there you have it. The steps to getting your photos taken care of from F8 photography. Great. Now that F8 photos are done, now we're going to focus on the second part, which is getting the description. We're going to use those F8 photos when they come back, of course, after the 24-hour timeline. We're going to take those photos and we're going to put those into a ChatGPT or a Gemini along with a prompt to help create this description, this is what you're going to do. Use this highlighted prompt. Plug this in into Gemini or ChatGPT. We're going to focus on the photos and a pre-prompted script of items of the property that you want to highlight. We're going to use the highlighted field. Plug this in to ChatGPT or Gemini along with the photos and a description of what your property features have. For this scenario, I have some photos that I have uploaded from that post. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight those and add those in here as well. Next, I will add the checklist items that we have for the questions of the property details. Once we add those, we're going to hit enter. As it renders you a description, we're going to take this description and we're going to save it into our files. Let's assume that you're going to be uploading this into Zillow. You're going to upload this onto Zillow Managers, and we're going to find that here on this tab. Go ahead and go to My Listings. From here, you're going to add the property that you're talking about. Highlight the property and select and dispose of it in here. Once you do that, go ahead and create the listing. It should find it. After doing that, there's going to be some auto-populated information that's on here, and then you can input the information here. And then you can finish out inputting the listing on Zillow Management. A few more steps. We are now considering how we're going to approach leads as they come into our pipeline. So once you go live, you're going to start getting activity, and they're going to appear in your email like this. So once that lead gets into your pipeline, it's very important that you get in front of them in the first 60 seconds of them reaching out to you. In the process of you reaching out to these tenants, it's going to be very important that you know what to say and how to say it when you get on those phone calls. In the script, you're going to find that there are going to be some very key questions that you want to ask so that you can determine the motivation of the tenant. This way, you're not wasting your time. So I'll go ahead and give you a demo of what a call would probably sound like. Now, don't get me wrong. There are calls that are going to give you scratching your head type reactions, but that's okay. No one is going to be the same as the next person. So those are to be expected. But this is how a call should typically go. Hello, John? Yeah, John, this is Redrell. Yeah, you reached out to us about the property on 123 Street a few moments ago. And I just wanted to make sure that you were still looking to get the place, or if you maybe found like something else that fits what you're shopping for already. They may respond, no, we found what we're looking for, or yes, we're still interested. In that case, you'll say, okay, so I have to ask, what about this place has caught your attention? To which they'll respond, they probably like the area. Maybe it's the backyard. And then you'll go ahead and reply, yeah, thank you. And that's typically what we hear from people. And I appreciate you for letting us know. So, may I ask a question? What's your timeline looking like as far as moving in is concerned? They'll probably say next month. Then you say, oh, so it sounds like you wouldn't be able to move in before next month. Is that right? And they'll let you know yes, no, and the reason for that. To which you have to acknowledge their reason and continue to understand what they're trying to do. So you would say, okay, I understand. And besides whatever reason, there's nothing else that would stop you from being like 100% on moving in exactly a month from this moment. Is that correct? To which they'll respond, whatever their reason is, yes or no. And then you'll say, okay, so it sounds like it might be a good fit, but let's go ahead and check out the unit. We have an open house on this time at this date. Would you be able to make that or the next one at XYZ date? And then they'll let you know if that's a good time or not. And then you'll go ahead and conclude the conversation by saying, okay, we'll see you on that date. When you get off the phone here, I'll send you the criteria list that's required for us to send you. And if you meet those requirements and you'd like to move forward, then we can have an application. And if you're 100% sure and set on winning that unit, and the application comes back and it matches what we're looking for in the criteria list, you'll receive the keys. How does that sound? And that should lead you with a great and see you at that appointment. The next thing you're going to want to do is make sure to create a sense of urgency around the property. Open house and limited showing does something to the psyche when it comes to properties. So, if you are interested in doing an open house, make sure that you set it up on a weekend to allow more people to come and look at the property, and keep it between a 2 or a 4 hour window open house. Remember, scarcity creates urgency, and the more foot traffic people see, the more urgent they're going to want to move to make sure that they get that property. Now, when it comes to the screening checklist, it's very important that you consider 4 key items. Now, we have a checklist outline. You can tweak it to your liking, but the outline is going to look like this: financials, 2.5 times through 3 times the rental amount. Next is the credit. You want to have a minimum credit score of 650. The third is the application. It is a first come, first applied basis. And number 4, the criminal background. If you see any red flags like property damage or arson, these are things that can cause for concern, and you don't have to tolerate that kind of a tenant. Then there's the application. Now, people usually use Zillow applications because they're not expensive. However, if you want, you can use RentSpree. RentSpree is a really great program, and it kind of makes everything much more simple. Let's say you want to use RentSpree. Let's say that you add the property onto your RentSpree. You select the property. Let's say you want to add the property to RentSpree. Go ahead and add the property. Put the address in, and again, it should auto-populate. And from here, go ahead and select next. Once you have the property on here, you can use this link on your right-hand side of the screen. It's a share application link. You can copy it and paste it in an email or text to the tenant. This should streamline this whole process. The application typically costs $39.99, so just say $40, and the tenant will pay for that application. Now, the last step is getting the application signed, and there are some fields that you want to consider if there is something important about the property that you want to highlight. In RentSpree, you can auto-populate all of this information into the application, but in the event that you can't, you can go into the application and pre-select whatever field you want and put in the information there. Here's an example of a preview month-to-month rental agreement. Just remember, most of the fields are going to be auto-populated, and RentSpree will allow you to put in any kind of terms that you're interested in adding that it wasn't already considering. So if you want to get access to the tools and the links in this video, go to Rental Lords California. The link will be in the description box below.